Alright, looks like everything should be going pretty good right now. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing so far? Who we got in the chat right now? How is everyone doing? If you anyone that's in the chat right now, if y'all can do me a huge favor, let me know how the audio is coming in and if the visuals are nice and clear. Just want to make sure that we're all set to go. How is everyone doing? Let's see, we got Caden Eldridge and we got Amy Matthews. What's going on, man? I remember you guys. I love your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. Oh, thank you, man. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. All right. See here. What's good, man? What's good? Yeah, we'll get started in about 4 more minutes. At 35, we'll go ahead and officially start, and then we'll go ahead and start going over the promos, some new stuff I want to go over with you guys, and of course, going over some questions and answering some. Terry, finally got time to watch a live stream. Hey, what's going on, man? Pritzel, great, good. Okay, good. Just want to make sure, again, audio is visual clear. Okay, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy. I want to make sure we're all set to go. Yeah, and we'll start in like 4 more minutes, and then we'll go ahead and actually get in on right into the news. Keemstar. All right, cool. Are you guys playing this weekend? Actually, that's another question I usually like to ask like during Saturdays. Are you guys actually playing today or this weekend at all? What are your plans for the weekend? I have a little family get-together after work, so that's going to be fun. But looking forward to the live stream as well. I really want to play, but man, oh man. This car's still not working, right? I have my appointment already set for when that's going to get fixed up. It's going to be some time. Tuesday, I believe, is when they're going to be able to go ahead and see it and actually start working on it. So, yeah, gotta get that taken care of before I can even think about going out to play. But even then, even if I could, I don't know if I would, just because it's so freaking hot right now. I don't do well in the heat. Coop303, how's it going? How you doing, man? How you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Grady Kelly, hi. What's going on, guys? Yeah, we'll get officially started in like 3 more minutes. I would want to play, but there's no fields close. Ah, that sucks, dude. That's the worst. Caden Eldridge, I don't have airsoft gun yet, but I want to buy my own. Hey, man, well, honestly, you came to the right spot. Like, this is definitely the spot to go if you're looking for recommendations, if you're looking for my honest thoughts and my opinions when it comes to certain airsoft guns or what I would honestly suggest. This is definitely the spot you want to go ahead and hit up, honestly, as far as, like, getting information. Obviously, like, I don't ever proclaim to be, like, the know-it-all of airsoft. There are still many things that I myself am actually learning. Even though I've been playing for 13, 14 years, there are still many, many things that I want to learn as well. But I do have a little bit of knowledge. Daryl, what is going on? I'll answer your question the minute that we actually officially start. Again, we'll start at at the 35 mark, and then from there I'll go over all the promos we got going on, all the stuff I want to show off to you guys, and then we'll start answering some more questions. But until then, we're just gonna hang out until then. Got 2 more minutes. Make sure we go scroll all the way down because there's some more stuff I want to show y'all as well as soon as we start. I need you. I miss you. And now you bleed. Oh, I love that song. There's another. Oh, I know it's in here somewhere. I want to pull it up. Where is it? John Wick, Gears of Games. There we go. I'm gonna pull this one up in the meantime as well. In like 1 more minute, we'll officially start, guys. Yeah, I see you got a few questions too. I'm happy that we are already starting to get some more questions. But again, remember at 35, we're going to go ahead and officially start. And then we'll go over the rules as how to ask your question as well. And then go over all the promos we got going on. You guys are not going to miss out on all this stuff, all this cool information. Oh, crack the neck, crack the back. Okay, we should be good. All right, 3:35. Want to go ahead and start right now. Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Storefront live stream. I was about to say no flight list. It's not Tuesday yet. So welcome to another episode of the Storefront live stream. For those that don't know, or for those that are first time watching, thank you for joining me. It's actually very, very special that you decide to go ahead and hang out with me and the rest of the Mayo Gang. But this is a Q&A live stream. So if any of you guys have any questions regarding Airsoft, If you guys are looking for recommendations for parts, tactical gear, that sort of thing, what do I think about this gun specifically? You can definitely go ahead and ask. However, we do ask that if you do want to ask a question, make sure you put the letter Q in front of your question. That way I can easily identify it and see it a little bit better. Not 100% perfect. It can still get lost in the chat. There are a lot of stuff going on in the chat right now. But feel free to ask your question more than once if I haven't already gotten to it. However, if at a certain point you start just spamming the question, whether or not I've answered it or not, that's just, no one's going to appreciate that. You're going to be kicked, and no one, it's not going to be a good time for anyone. So please avoid spamming at all costs. If you haven't already, make sure to go ahead and give this live stream a thumbs up and share it around with everyone that you know. Really, really does help us out. The YouTube algorithm gods really do not like Airsoft. They really don't like us, even though we're trying to be as wholesome as we possibly can. So it really helps us out when you can go ahead and share this information around as much as possible, especially if you know any airsofters that are new. Maybe it's the guys that want to get into this, or they don't know what the heck airsoft is, right? But it seems interesting to them. Let them know to swing our way, share this live stream with them, and have them ask their questions of their own. That way we can help them out and get them all situated so they can have a good time when they're getting started in airsoft. Now, obviously, we want to go over some promos right now. We got the big boy out of the way, right? Get the Independence Day mystery box, and you will be getting 10 entries in the shopping spree giveaway. Last we checked, there was only 10 left. Right? There's only literally a handful left. Like, at this point, you definitely have to go ahead and make sure that you pick one up for yourself, right? 170, and you're automatically getting free shipping, right? Again, only 10 left of those. But what could you possibly win in this? Well, let's take a look. This insane prize list, right? Any one of these guns you could win for yourself, right? There are so many high-end airsoft guns on here and just great quality shit on here. You do not want to miss out. Because even then, I know some people are going to say, oh, mystery boxes, what if I get something cheap? Here's the thing. The cheapest item that you can win on here is already more expensive than the cost of the box itself, right? That's already going to be a guaranteed victory for you no matter which way you look at it. And the fact that you automatically get free shipping, that's fucking dope. That's cool. But again, like we said, 10 entries in the shopping spree giveaway. Remember, any $20 order that you spend at Airsoft GI when you place an order will automatically get you an entry, a chance to win the shopping spree giveaway. And the prize pot right now is actually $1,800. It's been stacked because the winner was not present during the last live stream, so it is stacked another $600. So $1,800 is what you could win. But you order yourself that mystery box, you're going to get yourself 10 chances of winning. Let's see if we can try to go ahead and actually sell this out before the end of the live stream. I usually like to end my stream anywhere from 4:30 to 5 o'clock. So if by 5 o'clock we can sell out of this, maybe I do something. We'll see, right? I want to see if we can go ahead and sell this out before the end of the live stream. That'd be fucking cool. But again, if you weren't interested in the mystery box, you want to see other things, we have a ton of items that are available on a shocker deal right now. But like we said, these are shocker deals, so these deals are not going to be forever. These are very temporary. The timer is already set. Once the timer gives, that's it. That is no more. There are tons of really cool shit that is available on a shocker deal right now, like this classic LMG. This thing is fucking dope. If you guys are a big fan of the Stoner LMG, there you go. This is what you need. You need this in your life, right? Because normally it goes for $399.99, basically $400, $359.99. That is a damn good deal. And we have a ton of new products available as well. We're actually having, to this moment, we're actually still seeing more products come in. A lot of more accessories from Atlas Custom Works are on the way too. But we have the new Specna Arms Edge 2.0 AEGs. We have the Flex as well that's available, more accessories, and then, of course, we have pre-orders for the newest versions of the Mayo Gang MTC4 Mark II, the black and red version. Bossman and I like to call this one Spicy Mayo or Sriracha Mayo. We also have the solid bronze and the black and gold version as well, not to mention a ton of other items that are available right now. Remember, all it takes is a $20 order, and you automatically have a shot at winning the shopping spree giveaway. The last winner confirmed literally won off a bag of BBs. So that could be you. That could very well be you. Might as well place your orders with the guys that treat you right. All right. Now, with that said, let's get right into the questions. Oh, wait. One last thing. For anyone that has a Mayo Gang MGC4 Mark II, we are looking for help spreading the good word that is the Mark II. We want to go ahead and get as much coverage on it social media-wise in terms of YouTube. So we have this Mayo Gang content creator program. If you guys are able to follow the criteria as far as uploading and filming and uploading this video to a YouTube channel, right, and as long as it meets all this criteria, message us, DM us directly with the link to the video itself, and we will be hooking you up with a $50 gift card. So, again, make sure it's following the rules. Obviously, that's very specific of what it is that we're looking for. If you don't follow the rules, then we're not going to be able to go ahead and do it. So make sure that you are following the rules to a T as much as you possibly can, all right? Now, with that said, why don't we go ahead and start answering some questions? Okay, this one comes from jpeg.1 asks, thoughts on pistol only, tips, etc. Okay, so running pistol only is actually not like I know some people say like, oh, you're super limited with what you can do with a pistol. Not really. I mean, here's the thing. If you're playing at an indoor environment, right, that's going to work very, very well in your favor. Running a pistol only is not that bad, but it does require the circumstances to be just right, if that makes any sort of sense. If you want to be truly effective with a pistol. So if you're playing at an indoor CQB arena field like that, like a Tac City, for example, where it's very, very CQB, then yeah, running a pistol is not going to be bad. In fact, if anything, I would say running a pistol would give you an advantage over guys that are running a rifle, even if it is like a PDW or like an SMG. The reason why is because it's way smaller. It's more compact. It's a lot easier to maneuver in a CQB environment, and you don't have to worry as much about bumping into walls and having to really move. It's just a lot easier to go ahead and just have it in a sidearm, where it's something that you could theoretically just carry in one hand and do everything you needed to, right? Like, it's a very, very convenient option for many people. Now, with that said, the best piece of advice that I can give you is make sure you're really on top of cleaning and just general maintenance for the airsoft gun, right? Because you are using that and running it a lot more, you can wear things down a lot faster, and it is going to get dirtier faster, right? Because you're essentially running that only as your primary. So I would recommend doing a little bit more cleaning fairly regularly and loading up on a ton of magazines. And I mean a ton of magazines. I've seen guys literally go onto the field with like 5 to 10 magazines on their person. And it makes sense, right? They want to be able to have the ability to just lay down suppressive fire when they need to with a pistol, so you're going to need extra mags for that. So recommend that you pick up some extra magazines, maybe even some extended magazines, depending on what platform, if it's even available for that platform. But I would say pick up some extra magazines and more cleaning. Okay, let's go ahead and answer some more questions. Make sure, okay, make sure a couple games might. Eden, what's going on, man? Just what's up, y'all? Just sitting here after a couple games of Airsoft. My Masada put in some work to. Hey, man, how many kills you rack up, Eden? It's good to hear. Good to hear. Let's see, Kane. Okay, what would be a good gear and motor setup for high RPS and good trigger response? Ultimately, it is going to depend on what gun it is going to be going into, but usually for gear, like if you're talking about gear, like actual gears, like ratio, motor setup for high RPS and good trigger response. So usually it has to be something of a balance between the two, right? Because if you go high RPS, sometimes you're not always going to get the best trigger response, right? And vice versa. Sometimes you go with a trigger response setup. That's going to be usually, for a good trigger response, most guys will typically go with a like torquier motor, right? But the problem with torquier motors, right, or high torque motors is that they're more focused on the actual power itself, like, and torque, and being able to pull back like a really like a high tension spring, that the speed, like in the rate of fire, like the rate at which it spins, is not going to be as fast as say like some high speed motors. So finding a good balance between the two is going to be ultimately what you want. Usually on a lot of my guns that I've gone with, and if you just want to see an instant improvement, you could go with just the motor itself. Usually going with like a 25K motor is like a pretty simple, swap out. Bear in mind, though, not all 25K motors are built the same, right? Not all high torque motors are built the same. Believe it or not, on the Mayo Gang MGC4 Mark II that we have, that motor is actually considered a high torque motor, but it's one of the faster torquier motors that we actually offer, right? So that's going to be an option as well. I would say if you're looking to swap out the gears, though, if you do want to see an increase in rate of fire beyond just swapping out what gears would do, I mean, I would say first and foremost, if you like goes in tiers, right? I would say go like motor first, then I would say motor and gears. Personally, I would go with 16-to-1s maybe, and then a high torque gear. So that's what I normally go with. Again, I can attest to like going with like a 25K right motor, maybe something like from CNC Production, something like that, or even Lance Tactical, and then swapping out for a set of 16-to-1 gears, right? 16-to-1 ratio. It seems to work very, very well on a lot of like my personal builds. I take those out to Milsim games. I've taken them out to indoor fields. I have gone like the 13 and 12-to-1 gear ratio if you want like super, super fast, right? But even then, do I really ultimately use it at the end of the day? No, not really. Milsim events, I might, because, you can also use full auto at some Milsim games. But at the end of the day, I try to be conservative with my ammo. The only gun that I'm not, obviously, is like my LMGs, but that's really about it. All the other stuff, 16-to-1s, high torque motor, good shimming job, so there's less friction, and that's it. That's what's my go-to. Okay, let's see here. Okay, this one comes from Dennis Games. Hello, I have a question. What is the best airsoft gun for medium to long range? So usually, what I would suggest for an airsoft gun that's going to be good for like medium range to long range engagements, there are like a couple different guns, and a lot of guns actually, believe it or not, are going to be shooting very similar specs as far as like the range that they can achieve, right? But one of the better performing guns is, that I would suggest if you're looking for something like that's good for medium range and that can still reach out and touch targets long range. I'm being serious when I say it too. It's gonna be it's here. Yeah. It's got to be the Mayo Gang MGC4, right? The Mayo Gang MGC4 Mark II has definitely been built out for like serious efficiency when it comes to its air compression, but its rate of fire is also really fucking good, surprisingly, right? When I heard it was going to be a high torque motor and it was only using 18 to 1s, I was like, okay, so it might be a little faster. It's going to be really good, get really good trigger response, but it's not going to be like, super accurate or like have that great range, right? Believe it or not, with the 603 Type 4 inner barrel that it has and the compression setup that it gets out of the box, actually really, really fucking good. It's like really good. We actually did a shooting video recently where we were comparing the standard, like the stock range from this, and then obviously with the unicorn barrel upgrade like combo that we do, right? But even stock, like these things are fucking fantastic when it comes to reaching targets, right? Everyone that I know that's owned one of these has been very, very impressed with the performance that these guns can achieve. So that would probably be the best gun that I would suggest for that. Oh, looks like you said under $300. Ooh. For under $300 though, I would say, let's see, let's take a look here, right? Let's go with, okay, I would say maybe, you know what? Yeah, I believe these are on a shocker deal, so that's why they're not normally under $300. But I would say, yes, absolutely, okay. Absolutely. Okay. The Classic Army MK16 13.5. This is a dope gun, right? It's going to be using the URGI style rail system, which I have seen in like U.S. military units. Like they actually starting to switch over to this, the sort of Block 3 sort of look, right? I am in love with this gun too. I was actually hardcore going to pick this gun up, but then I saw the MGC4 Mark IIs when they were coming out, and I was like, fuck, I got to get that one, right? But I do love the performance of these guys. ECS programmable trigger unit, so you can program these guys to shoot 3-round bursts, 5-round bursts, or semi-lock it. 603 Type 4 inner barrel, rotary style hop chamber, quick change spring system as well. It's got the works, right? It's got everything you would expect of a high-end gun, especially at that normal price point of $332. However, Dennis Games, I'm going to highly recommend this one because it is right now on a shocker deal for less than $300. It's going for $298.80, right? So it's right at that limit, but honestly, you can't go wrong with this. I've actually sold a few of these in store when they were still when they were on a shocker deal as well. And people were like surprised at how much of a discount that is, and they went with it because they were like, "Fuck it, yeah, this deal is way too good. I can't pass it up." And they are happily pleased with the performance that they get out of these bad boys. I really like the MK16s. That's the one that I'd probably go with. If I had a budget of like, it cannot be more than $300, then I would say go with that one. Okay, let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this are Spectre Arms, or you mean Spectre Arms, a good beginner airsoft gun. Spectre Arms is not bad actually. Bear in mind, it depends on what you mean by a beginner gun. If you had a budget in mind, right? Let's type in Spectre Arms. Right? I know you said Spectre, but I'm assuming you mean Specna. Spectre Arms, like their Flex model, for example, it ain't bad. Like, it definitely is not bad, right? These are all going to be coming from the same factories as, like, Lancer Tactical, so you're getting the same quality internal components, right? Either way. Yeah, I ain't got no beef with this guy. Yeah, I mean, it's literally just a different brand on there at that point at the end of the day. So I would say one of these guys, right? You can go with a Lancer Gen 2 or Gen 3. Does this one going to come included with battery and charger? This one does not. But it is cool that it comes included with a M90 spring, though. That is really cool. I will give it to them. What I would say, though, for this one, if you have a budget of under $200, I would say go with just a straight Lancer Tactical Gen 2, the standard models, because they're going to come included with a battery and charger. Not like that they're the best battery and charger in the world, but, a 9.6 millimeter hydrate is not bad, and it does come with a basic wall charger, so it's enough to get you, like, just started and get playing. But either way, you could also go ahead and just ditch that entirely, go with the Spectre Arms or the Lancer Tactical Gen 2 Core Series, where they don't come included with a battery and charger, and use that money that you save to get a good quality battery and charger. That's another option you can do as well. And that's not a bad choice. So yeah, I would say Spectrum Arms, not bad. It ain't bad. I'd recommend it. Okay, let's see here. I don't have airsoft gun, but I want to buy my own. I want to get the VFC Avalon Saber. That's not a bad choice, Caden. However, for the money, I will say, bear in mind, this is coming from someone who used to love like VFC, and I still do, right? I still respect VFC a lot, and they make a lot of good guns that you just don't see other people making, right? But with that said, I do believe that the Avalon series, just like the Crytek series, has been showing its age. The VFC Avalons are beginning, if not already have been, starting to show their age. I do think that there is more that you could get for your money out of the box, right? Especially for the price point that they are charging. Again, I know, like, obviously it's our gun, so we're obviously, like, we're gonna, like, push it. But I do mean this as, like, from airsofter to airsofter, really, at the end of the day, right? Because I do try to go ahead and step out of my own biases and look at all the options that you're given. I do think if you were looking for a solid performing gun, then you're going to get a lot of value, especially at the high-end budget mark, like $300 plus. I'd say there's honestly no beating the Mayo Gang MGC4 Mark II, right? There really isn't, and I'm trying to compare it to other guns. The only ones that do be like going to compare it to are probably going to be the R15s, right, from Zion Arms. But even then, like, they're using the same ETU, they're using the same MOSFET. Yeah, honestly, I would say the MGC4 Mark II, that's got to be like the go-to when it comes to high-end guns. If you have the money for an Avalon, I would say go with this instead, if I'm being serious. And I like the Avalons, don't get me wrong. When people would ask me, what do you prefer, Crytek's or VFCs, if they're Avalon series, I would always pick the Avalons. I would always pick the Avalons, right? It wasn't even a contest for me personally. But, again, I'm looking at it objectively and trying to step aside from my own biases. And I do have to admit that VFC, especially with their Avalon series, are starting to show their age. I think they're great, and fantastic guns. But even then, not all airsoft guns are free from a quirk, right? Or they're not like impervious to being outdated, right? And I'm sure at some point, maybe 20 years down the line, the Mayo Gang MGC4 Mark II will be outdated. But honestly, with all that you get out of the box for this, right, especially at that price point, like, I'm just saying, man, like, this is the steal. This is 100% the move. Let's see here. Made the mistake of getting a CO2 gun in summer, so I'm waiting for fall. That comes from JPEG.1. JPEG.1, you don't have to worry. CO2 is actually, like, from what I remember, again, I could be wrong about this, but if I remember correctly, the CO2 is actually supposed to be a little bit more resistant to the cooldown effect. So you can totally run CO2 in the summer. You can use that, technically speaking, year round. I actually run CO2 pistols in the summer as well, so I don't have any issues with that, so you can totally run it right now. Okay, this one comes from Daryl. Does the Lancer Tactical Alpha stock fit well on the Interceptor SBR? The Alpha stock will fit onto basically any AR at the end of the day, right? As long as it's an AEG setup. You're not trying to put on a gas rifle, but yeah, it will work on the Interceptor as well. It shouldn't have any sort of issues. That'll pretty much go for any Lance Tactical or any just standard AR, M4, M16 receiver. It should work. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the most recent questions. Sweet, there's a few more questions we can go and answer. I love it when people ask me a ton of questions. I genuinely do. Okay, is there a Battle Buddy? Is there a Mayo M4 with a 10-inch barrel? All the ones I see have 13 to 14-inch barrel. There was a shorter Mayo Gang MGC4. It's not currently available right now because that one was a limited run. We go here, right? We do have the original Mark I series, but that one, let's see if I can go ahead and pull that bad boy up for you. Yeah, that one was an incredibly limited run. That one we don't carry anymore, right? That one was like that one we're not going to be able to carry anymore. Let me double check, make sure. MG, because I know we did have it. Let's see. I believe it might have been taken down just because, again, let's see here, MGC4. Make sure we're not missing anything. I don't believe they're going to be on the site anymore. Yeah, those are going to be out of stock right now. There was the Mark I series, the original, but that was going to be a limited. That one was very, very limited. So they're not going to be remaking those anytime soon. However, I was speaking to Bossman and Cisco about this, and we were actually considering bringing back this length, the 10-inch length, like the CQB version, but you swapping out the rail system for maybe a new rail system entirely in a new setup. So just keep your eyes out on that one. Just because again, like the original one did sell out. That was a very very limited run. Only the OGs remember this one. But again, a new version will be coming out very soon. Potentially the Mayo Gang MG4 Mark III. So just keep an eye out for that. All right, let's see here. All right, this one comes from Caden Eldridge. What if I added a Gate Titan? You can. You can definitely add a Gate Titan. I know you were asking about the to your gun. You can add a Gate Titan if you really wanted to, right? To any of the guns. But it's more along the lines of like the money itself. And here's the thing. If money is not an issue for you, dude, by all means, go for it, right? Ball out. Cash out. And the Gate Titan is a great MOSFET. I actually own a few. However, with that said, too, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, what exactly are you paying for, right? How many of those features that you get out of the Gate Titan are also going to be used, right, in a practical sense, right? It's cool that you have programmability, right? But at the end of the day, how much of it is going to be, like, usable, right? Yeah, you can adjust, with just the Gate Titan installed, you can adjust how much of a trigger pull you get before the gun starts to shoot. That doesn't mean that the trigger pull overall, like the travel of the trigger, is shortened down. That requires different modification work to it, right? And you're already spending well over $300, right? You're already spending well over $300. So, in my opinion, it's honestly not really too much worth it anymore to get that when there are other guns that come included with a lot of that stuff. Like the Zion MOSFET can do about, like, I would say 60%, maybe even 75% of what the Gate Titan can do, right? As far as functions, right? And as far as features that it has, right? It can do quite a bit, right? And all the important stuff that you would want it to do, it has it. Right, which again is really really cool, and they're offering that pre-installed out of the box for a way cheaper price point. For me, it's a matter of like, okay, what am I looking at exactly? What am I spending my money on? For that, I actually prefer that to get a better value for my dollar. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, if you really wanted to get yourself an Avalon and then install like that Gate Titan, hey man, go for it, absolutely. Okay, let's see. What FPS/dual elbow would you recommend to a close medium range sniper? For close to medium, I mean, it's more so. I mean, you can get the FPS. I mean, at the end of the day, and like to be whatever it is that you want, right? It's all just gonna be a matter of like what your field actually even allows at the end of the day. Usually for CQB, if you're trying to bring like a bolt action sniper rifle indoors, right? Or like for medium range, then obviously yeah, you'd have to go and follow the FPS rules like 350, right, and under. But if you're trying to go something like above that and trying to play outdoors, but you want it set up for medium range, I mean, you can go maybe 400 at that point, maybe just standard rifle. But at that point, why not just go with like just a regular rifle at that point? You know, why not just go with like a regular AEG or even a gas blowback rifle, right? Because follow-up shots are a lot easier to get as opposed to trying to do this whole stuff on a sniper. I mean, you can do it; it is possible. Okay, this one comes from George MMA. Hey, I'm looking to spend around $400+ on an AEG that is accurate at long range. Can you recommend 2 or 3 M4s? Yeah, no worries. So okay, so for $400+, there are obviously I have it pulled up right here, right? For something under $400, I would actually say go with the MG4 Mark II because this gun, even though I know you said $400+, this one is actually going to be smoking a lot of different airsoft guns right out of the box in terms of range and accuracy as well. It just is. Like, it literally just is, right? There are so many other guns that you can try to compare this to, and it just beats them, right? And that's just an objective thing. You can also go with the Zion Arms R15, right? You can either go with the Mod Zero or you can go with the standard. Personally, what I would recommend, I mean, you said $400+, so I'll throw this in there, right? You can also go with our Storm series, right? These are built-to-order customs. These do take a while to go ahead and build, but it is well worth the wait because we do all of the quality control ourselves. These are going to be customs that are built, again, like I said, built-to-order, that are built out internally. These things are fucking dope. These things shoot so goddamn fast, and they have so much increase in range and accuracy. Even the rate of fire, too, is going to be increased as well. The Storms are fucking cool, right? Now, if you wanted to go and save a little bit of money, because I know the 727 is a little pricey, what I would say at that point, maybe get yourself a, there we go, get yourself a Performance Plus X2 or Performance 2 or Performance P++, that's what we used to call it, Performance Plus X2, right? This guy is going to be using the standard setup as far as your R15, your gearbox, right? Same everything internally, with the exception of the motor is going to be swapped out, in addition to the barrel setup. The barrel setup is going to be swapped out to a unicorn Type 4 inner barrel in addition to the bucking and hop-up nub, right? Very, very fucking cool, right? You are going to be able to get so much better range and accuracy. Bossman actually brought one of these guys out to the last BB Wars that we had in SoCal, Coastal Front, and he was getting targets like way out, like on the other end of the map. Like, this thing is fucking dope. This thing can reach out and hit people. I would probably recommend that one as well. Those are probably my two best suggestions if you're looking for range and accuracy and just good performance overall in that sort of price point. I would highly recommend either the R15, and you can get the stock R15 too and do whatever you want to it at that point too and save yourself a little bit of money. $325. There's other color versions as well, but yeah, it definitely would be the R15 or the Mayo Gang MGC4 Mark II. See here. This one comes from Grady Kelly. What do you think of the Elite Force CFR or FCR? I get confused versus the Classic Army CL2. Between like Classic Army and like Elite Force, like especially their like CFR, personally, I prefer the Classic Army. I usually prefer the Classic Army, especially their Nemesis and Skirmish lineup. Those two, like, they just work so damn well, right? The Nemesis, for those that don't know, here we can go ahead and take a look, right? Shot by brands. Go Classic Army. Yep, right there. For those that don't know, Classic Army, they have like two main sort of like, I guess, lineups, right? That being their Nemesis series and that being their Skirmish series, right? Ooh, excuse me. I don't know what happened there. Their Skirmish series. Their Skirmish series is usually going to be comprised of a polymer construction externals, full metal internals, of course. But you do get, like, a lot of them do get the ECS programmable trigger unit, which is very, very cool, along with a lot of other cool features like a 603 Type 4 inner barrel and a rotary style hop chamber. They were one of the first companies to actually like offer that in an affordable price point that was like under $200. Now, obviously, inflation, some of their stuff has gone up a little bit, but I do believe it is still worth the money. Their Nemesis series, however, is going to be the full metal big brother of that, right? Of the Skirmish lineup. ECS trigger, programmable, like, it's so fucking cool. You get like 3-round burst, 5-round burst, semi-lock it as well. It's a very cool option. And semi-locking is actually kind of cool in case, again, you do get someone that's like, you know, hey, you're going full auto on me. And it's like, no, dude, it's like literally set to like semi only, right? It's a very cool feature. And they come in so many different variations. Like, I love this guy, right? The ECS LL AR10, like this. Oh, it's so good. It's so cool. It's so nice, right? They're so fucking cool. If you were asking me, again, I probably would have to say that I would put my hat in for Classic Army specifically. But again, that's just me. Okay, this one comes from Coop303. What is the best cheap battle belt? Ooh, battle belts. Okay, bear in mind, Coop, I myself am not the biggest fan of battle belts, actually. I already carry like plate carriers, or I'd run chest rigs where I have to run like, you know, a lot of equipment and gear on me. I'm not looking to go ahead and add more weight to my belt setup, and I don't want to wear a, what is it called? Oh, what the heck? I don't want to wear their suspenders. I don't want to have to wear suspenders as well. However, with that said, I know that Boaz highly recommends this one. Let's see here. Obviously, Condor LCS, Cobra gun belts. These are always really fucking cool. They are a little bit on the pricier side. I won't lie, right? The hybrid EDC belts, those are okay. I would actually recommend the TAC-9 Industry Special Combat belts. Now, forewarning, Boaz let me know, and he is right. These belts are incredibly stiff. Like, these are really hard belts when you first get them, right? They do require to be worn in a little bit in order for them to be a little bit more flexible, but you can get them to be a little bit softer. It just takes some time to get them to like wear down, but they are incredibly stiff out of the packaging, right? You do get the Cobra buckle right there. You are able to go ahead and put up a bunch of attachments on this bad boy. It's a good belt. It's a solid belt. You know, I can't lie. It's a really good belt, and for that price, hella worth it. Okay, this one comes from Caden Leatham. Okay. Or Chris Pollard says, damn, I'm late. How is everyone? I'm doing good, Chris. How are you doing? This one comes from Caden Leathman. How much better is the MGT4 Mark II than the OG? So it's more of a preferential thing. If you're talking about the very first batch of the OG, it was solid, right? But believe it or not, the first batch, a lot of people actually said that they wanted the rate of fire to be a little bit more. So we did that. Right, so we upped the motor itself to a different motor. It is still a high torque motor, however, so you know you are still getting that really snappy trigger response, but the rate of fire is definitely improved. Right, if you're talking about the externals, I prefer the MGC4 Mark II. Right, Now, as you're talking about just general performance, the Mark II will get better range, not by a huge margin, but it will get better range than the OG. Personally, I like the carbine length more than I like the SBR. But again, that's just more of a preferential thing. They're going to be both very, very good performing rifles, honestly. Fantastic. The SIG Spear is beautiful. Yeah, the Army is replacing their M4 with the SIG MCX rifle. Yeah, but the URGI rail is still in use right now in some units. The Spear hasn't been officially set across the board. It hasn't reached everyone yet. As of right now, we're kind of in that phase where we're phasing out one, trying to adopt another, but we're still kind of seeing how it's going with the Spear. And if the Spear ends up being a failure, then at least we have plenty of ARs left, right? Because there's still many, many, many freaking units. And we're not even talking National Guard. We're talking guys in SOCOM that are still using freaking M4s, right? It's gonna be a while before it's completely phased out, a while. Because you guys got to remember how much the U.S. government relied on the M4, a ton. Okay, let's see here. This one comes from ITFC would the Mayo Gang be shipped to the UK? As far as I can tell, it should be able to be shipped internationally. However, and we haven't had any issues really with the UK, but I'm going to say this again for all my international viewers. First of all, thank you for watching. But when it comes to international shipping, right, it can be a bit of a tricky thing. You, as the buyer, are responsible for knowing and following all airsoft regulations and rules that may be in your country. If for whatever reason, once it ships out of our hands and it's inside the shipper or in customs hands, there's nothing we can do at that point. So if it gets seized by customs at the border for whatever reason, or at the crossing of your country, and it's not allowed to be imported for some law, bear in mind that is not on us. We did our job as far as packing the order and shipping it out. That is going to be up to you as the buyer to know and understand and follow all regulations regarding airsoft in your country. Now, with that said, do I foresee any issues with the MGC4 Mark II shipping to the UK? No. Okay, this one comes from Battle Buddy. How you doing, man? Can an airgun fire plastic BBs even if the diameter of the BBs is the same as the steel BBs? I mean, I'm going to say you could physically shoot a BB in there, but will the BB survive and before it exits out the barrel and work just fine? I don't know. In fact, if anything, dare I say, I think the plastic BB, if you put that in an air gun, because the air gun is so much stronger, I would say that the BB might actually end up cracking and breaking and shattering inside of the barrel of the gun. That's what I would say. Again, I don't want to test it because I don't want to destroy an air gun, but that's what I would imagine would happen. I personally wouldn't recommend trying. This comes from Daryl. Does the Lance Tactical Alpha stock fit on the Interceptor SPR? SPR, I read the hand grip is thinner, so most motors won't fit. No, it should fit. We've done the swap before. It wasn't a problem when we swapped it out. Let's go ahead and make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, this one comes from Amy Matthews. What's going on again? Well, hello again. Another awesome question from you. Should I do a battle belt or a chest rig? I only really play short games, and I only carry about 5 extra magazines on me at a time, 6 including the one in the gun. That's a very good question, actually. And that is going to be another preferential thing. I can see the benefits, pros, and cons, actually, between both. Now, with a battle belt, it's kind of cool, right? Because all you got to do is just put on the belt and then take it off when you're not using it. I guess it ultimately depends on the gun. If you are running, well, even then, for me, okay, I'm going to say if you like having stuff on your upper body, which I prefer as opposed to having it on my lower body, I go chest rig. If you want to be able to have just, something that you can wear as a belt and just take off fairly easily, then I would say, yeah, do a battle belt. Yeah, honestly, that's really going to come down to it. I guess I don't like battle belts because they weigh so much on my pants, and I really, really don't want to have to wear suspenders. That's why I go chest rig. Personally, I go chest rig, but I can see the benefits of battle belts, and sometimes it actually might be considered faster because all you have to do is reach down onto your waist and just grab an extra magazine. Versus a chest rig, if you wear them high, sometimes it might take a little longer, maybe. I could see the argument for either or. I feel like ultimately it comes down to a matter of training and what specific pouches and gun you're running, right, and what your orientation is as far as left, right. There's all that, right? But I think maybe Battle Belt might be faster, especially if you're only doing shorter games. It could be a little more convenient. So maybe a Battle Belt. Hopefully that answers your question, Amy. Grady Kelly. This is the M249 soft. What do you think most upgrades I would do to think? Okay, so right out of the gate, any 249. This goes for any 249 that I highly recommend you swap out is going to be the. I mean, obviously you want to go ahead and swap. Like, I would say maybe gear is obviously a good one. Piston. There you go. Swap out the piston. Remember, you are shooting mainly in full auto. So swapping out that piston is going to be crucial for something that's going to be very, very durable, but not super heavy, something a little more lightweight, right? Usually for pistons, I've gone with SHS, and they've worked very, very well for me. Yeah, that would probably be like the one thing I would suggest. Yeah, that's probably like the piston's probably the most important one. And then maybe the gears too, obviously like a good shimming job. Maybe go ahead and go for some like tougher gears as well. Yeah. Maybe the bearings as well. Like if maybe swap out the bearings for some bushings, right? Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one comes from Battle Buddy. I just got my Zion Arms M4 and I was wondering where do I install the flashlight on it? Should it extend beyond the barrel or should it be right next to the barrel? Honestly, again, that is going to be more of a preferential thing. I think usually for the setups that I like to do, they're like they're on the actual, obviously they're like next to the barrel, but they do extend out a little bit. However, my flash hider or flash devices usually extend past the flashlight itself. So if I'm like running a trace unit or like a mock suppressor, I'll usually have it stick out, so it ends up like reaching out further than where the flashlight ends. But that's all really preferential, really, at the end of the day. Okay. This comes from Manny Max. Hello, do you know a cheap DMR that performs great with good internals? DMRs out of the box that perform like fantastic. It also depends on what you mean, because cheap is hard. That's actually the most difficult one. I would say even like standard, like modern guns like the R15, MGC4 Mark II, a lot of those classic armies, right? Those are going to be great. You can get them in a carbine length too, so that way they're not like super short like an SBR, and they have really, really great range. But if you're looking for DMR specifically, it depends on what you mean by cheap, man, because like, one man's definition of cheap can mean something else. I'm going to say if you're looking for a cheap DMR that can get to that performance level you're maybe looking for, I would say go with Golden Eagle SR25. You honestly can't go wrong with those bad boys. And some of them are actually discounted right now, like this one, right? This one's going to be using the adjustable crane stock or stop mount stock. M-lock rail here. It's solid. It's solid. It takes version 2 components, right? So you are able to upgrade this bad boy. It's fairly cheap, $245, right? Discounted right now. Yeah, honestly, I would 100% say this is probably the one that you would want to go. Yeah, it's reinforced version 2 gearbox internals. And it already has an integrated MOSFET in there. It's not the best MOSFET in the world. It's just something, something basic, no programmability there. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, that's all you really need, right? $245, I would say that's probably going to be the best bet you're going to get as far as like getting a cheap DMR. But again, really depends on your definition of cheap. I would say go for this and then build it out. However, if you have a little more money and you still consider this cheap, I would probably say go with the because this is on a deal right now. This is on a sale right now. So I would highly recommend you pick this bad boy up, the Classic Army ECS M110. Oh, this thing is so fucking nice, man. This thing is so fucking cool. $359, worth it every time. All right, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I think I answered that one. Okay, yeah, we should be caught up. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down to the most recent questions. Holy crap! Hey, it looks like Obi Vic Kenobi. Hey, what's going on, man? I recognize your name. Thank you for the $2 donation, man. Again, you don't have to do that. Obviously, if you want to go ahead and support the channel directly, go ahead and get all your Airsoft goodies at Airsoft GI, right? Specifically, if you want to go ahead and really go ahead and increase your chances of winning the next Shopping Spree giveaway, pick up an Independence Day mystery box for 10 entries into the giveaway, and it automatically gets free shipping and a chance to win some awesome prizes. But thank you, Obi Vic Kenobi. All right, so SEMA, JW2, Ultralight, Tier 1, M4, E1. Thoughts? I haven't had too much experience with it, actually, believe it or not. The only SEMAs recently that I've been able to go ahead and really shoot, well, technically SEMAs, right, is going to be the SEMA Platinums, the Echo 1 BTS Mod 2, right? but I haven't really had too much of a chance really to go ahead and like handle the that specific model. I just that's the only that's been I haven't been able to. If I do, actually I think Boaz might have actually. You know what? Go ahead and DM us directly and just ask us about it. Like if you're thinking about it, you can. But honestly, it's not my favorite in the world. I think there are better stuff that you can get for the money. But that again, that's just me personally. Okay. See, this one comes from Ken Elledge. What would you recommend, or would you guys recommend a KDB Ronin T10 with the Gate Titan and the 11-1 3000 milliampere battery first with a speed trigger found on Airsoft GI? You can if you want to go, especially if you want to do that speed trigger. I never really found the purpose of the speed trigger for other than adjustability. Here's the thing: the KWA Ronin T10 is a platform that I feel like is solid as is and doesn't need anything. Could you put a Gate Titan in there? Yes, right. Could you do even crazier things with that gun? Yeah, you absolutely could. However, the rifle itself was designed to be to essentially kind of replicate a real firearm, right? And there's a reason why a lot of law enforcement agencies will use the Ronin T10 or even KWA's LM4 series for training, right? It's a solid platform. It's a solid professional training rifle, right? I think the Ronin T10 doesn't need anything, but could you put a Gate Titan in there? Yes. The 11-1 LiPo battery? Yeah, I always go with LiPo batteries with that bad boy. The 3000 milliamperage battery? I mean, you do get plenty of space in that PTS EPS stock it comes included with, right? Because it's rear wired, so you get a lot of stock battery space in there, but not a whole lot. Remember, the buffer tube is enclosed to make room for the reciprocating buffer that's in there, that metal freaking tube that just every time you shoot, right? The ERG system. As far as the speed trigger, you can if you really want to go ahead and again, if you're just trying to look for a tunable trigger, you can, but honestly, I feel like there's no real point to it, especially on the T10. Personally, on the T10, I would just leave it alone. If you want to do Gate Titan on that, then yeah. This one comes from Caden. Yo, Isaias, I was talking to you a couple weeks ago on one of these, and you were telling me that I should come out to one of the Airsoft GI's events from Arizona. I found out that I can come next school break. Hey, man? That's fucking sick, man. That's freaking awesome, dude. That's going to be really, really freaking cool if you're able to go ahead and make it out to the BB Wars event. That's going to be freaking dope, dude. Yeah, honestly, I really appreciate it whenever, it means a lot to us. Maybe, I can't speak for everyone else. I know it, for Cisco for sure. I don't know Boaz's feelings. I'm sure he feels the same way. But I, for sure, always am amazed and always appreciative of whenever guys are able to come out to the games and actually play with us, right? Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, I'm an Airsoft player, right? I'm an Airsoft player first and foremost, right? And I want to play some damn Airsoft, and I want to play with my friends. I want to play with the homies. So when I get guys for example, High Fidelity, right? When he can come out to BB Wars out in Cali, all the way from goddamn Hawaii. Right, man's had to fly, or freaking, Chef Pandakage in Trinity, right? When guys like that can come out to events that are outside of their state, it's fucking cool, man. It's fucking cool, and it's always appreciative, especially when they come out. They're like, oh, I want to say hi, and it's like, dude, fuck yeah, dude. All right, let's see here. JPEG1, are there any good ways to chrono a shotgun accuracy? I was thinking of getting one in the future. Chronoing a shotgun accuracy. Do you mean chronoing a shotgun, just being able to tell what FPS it's truly shooting at, or do you mean gauging its accuracy? If it's gauging its accuracy, the best way to do it is literally just go outside and then just shoot it, right? Bear in mind when it comes to shotguns, I think we actually did a video on gas shotguns, I believe on the Jag scatter guns, I think 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, it should be on our YouTube. It should be up there. It should already be up. But we actually measured out, and they have pretty decent range. Obviously, are they going to have the same range as some modern built AEGs like the MG4 Mark II, or even just Gen 2 or 3 Lancer Tacticals or Zion Arms R15s? No, obviously, right? And that's kind of a given. But if you're using them in a CQB environment, or if you're using them outdoors in a more enclosed space, or as your backup gun, I would highly recommend it. I would 100% highly recommend those. Those are super, super fun. Okay. I've seen the Apex URGIs out of stock. When you guys have those back in stock, or can you guys just sell me the rail? Pernox UN, with that rail, so we don't have one currently. Um, I would very much like to go ahead and see a URGI rail that is available for sale. However, it is going to be a matter of like trademarks or like licensing. So I don't know. In the future, I wouldn't personally bet on it as of right now. But it is going to be a matter of getting one made for it that we can sell individually. I would like to, maybe in the future. You never know what the future may hold. Jim the Mad Viking, how can I sleep better at an airsoft game while staying concealed? I mean, honestly, Jim, I feel that the obvious answer would be a ghillie suit, but maybe, But if you want to, no, I mean, yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, it would just be a ghillie suit, right? The ghillie suit would be the best way to do it. Just stay on the field. I mean, I'll like I mean, joking, of course, but I would probably say, maybe get a ghillie suit, stay on the map, right? Like even if the game's over, stay on the map, and then when the next game starts, you're still there in the bush. Maybe, I can imagine you getting in trouble for that. All jokes aside, but hey, that could work. Coop303 asks, what iPro do you recommend and what should I look for in iPro? So for iPro, it should be a matter of like what's going to serve your purposes. Now for me, I like to use my optics. I like to use a lot of different like devices. So because I do Muslim games, sometimes I will have a spotter scope or like a set of binoculars on me, right? I've used them before. Or sometimes I'm having to use different guns, and I don't want to have my goggles or my mesh mask bump into, like on my rifle. I don't want to have to go out and like have to like struggle to get a good like cheek rest, right? I don't want to have to do that. So when it comes to goggles, I usually like to go for lower profile style goggles. Usually something that looks like sunglasses, but are 100% ANSI rated and have full eye coverage, right? Full seal. So something like this, right? ASG's Tactical Strike Systems Clear Protective Glasses. These are dope. These are full seal. There is a little bit of a gasket there. And they actually have a back strap. So these are very, very comfy. I actually own a pair of these, right? I actually own a pair very similar to this, right? And they're fairly cheap. You can get some for less than like $30. It's just one of the many versions you can get. I like these because, again, it's low profile and it's a lot easier to aim and use your optics. And get a better cheek rest and have a better time aiming than you would with a bulkier set of goggles, right? No offense to those goggles. They work very well. But again, I just think that the lower profile option just works better for me. But as far as what you should be looking for, ANSI rated and full seal. It has to be full seal. And it can't be like mesh, you know what I mean? Like mesh sheet over the eyes. It has to be full ANSI rated material up top here. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, what is your opinion on the G&G CM16 R8L? Yeah, the Chris Paulin, that's a solid gun. It's been around for a while. It definitely has been around for a while, the R8L. But personally, again, I think G&G, even though they are a fantastic brand, I do think they are a little pricey for what they're offering. I do feel like their internals are definitely a little bit outdated. Not bad, just outdated compared to what you can get nowadays. But if you really wanted the R8L, yeah, dude, I can't disagree with you. Like, the R8L is a solid option. It's a solid pick. Prime Tech Customs. Could you show the bronze MGC4 Mark II again? I need a sales pitch by Isaias. Prime Tech Customs, I got you, brother. I got you. All right. So, you guys already know what the bronze or what the MGC4s look like, right? So many different variations, the black, the bronze and black, right? But, now we have the gold and black, right? So if you want to go ahead and two-tone it, absolutely. But this bronze version right here, this bronze version, first of all, the bronze finish is already beautiful on the rail itself. But now you can go ahead and get the entire gun bronzed out. And it's actually very similar as far as the picture. Granted, this is the photo that we've seen so far. The photo actually does appear to be, even though it is bronze, it is going to be, I believe, a slightly lighter shade of bronze. So it's actually closer, maybe a little bit too gold, right? I am a big fan of this finish, right? I think it looks fucking sick. I think it looks cool, right? And of course, you are getting the same MGC4 Mark II that you know and love, right? Full metal construction throughout, 603 Type 4 inner barrel, rotary style hop-up chamber, right? Programmable Nebula MOSFET, right? So you get the 3-round burst, you get the 4-round burst, 5-round. You can go up to, I believe it's a 5 or 6 round, or yeah, 5-round burst, but you also get the binary function, right? You get the binary trigger, pull the trigger once, you shoot, let it go again, it'll shoot again. And again, you are getting it for $315. on a pre-order right now that's slated to release in November 15th. We're slated to get it in November 15th. So that's actually not too far away, all things considered, right? We've seen some pre-orders go for way longer. This one, I mean, granted, it's not a guarantee. However, with that said, what is guaranteed is that you are going to be getting an entry into the Shopping Spree giveaway, Prime Tech Customs, if you go ahead and pre-order one of these bad boys right now. You're getting an automatic entry into the Shopping Spree giveaway for $1,800. So you'll have a dope airsoft gun in a unique finish, right, that not everyone's going to have. You're going to have that and potentially $1,800 for you to go and spend on other stuff if you win. So just saying. Just saying. Okay, let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. What about Navrich SSXX 300? For that, I would recommend something that we actually carry, considering that, you know, we are the only airsoft retailer that offers you, you know, a chance to win a Shopping Spree giveaway, specifically $1,800 that you could win. Again, I would recommend just through our website for sure. Okay. This one comes from ITFC44 Everb. Question, what's your top 3 scopes for sniper rifles? Bear in mind, guys, I am not a sniper. I've never claimed or professed to be a sniper myself. If the closest to a sniper I normally run would be like a DMR, right? I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to having to pull back a bolt every single time I want to go ahead and shoot. Now, with that said, there are a couple of options you can get, right? Usually for sniper rifles, a lot of people's go-to option is going to be, let's see, rifle scopes. It's going to be something like a rifle scope, right? Something that offers a lot of magnification, right? And there are options that you can get, right? There's, I mean, look, just take a look, right? There's so many different freaking options that you can go ahead and get, right? Brands like Lance Tactical, NC Star, Vism, right? There's a ton that you can go ahead and get. I think one of my favorites, though, right now, probably have to be probably this guy, right? This guy's freaking nice. I've actually seen it on a bolt action before. I believe we had one for a while in store, and we actually got to pair it with one of our VSR 10s that we had here. It looks good. It works very, very well, right? Scope rings included. I think that's one thing that I always kind of appreciate. And obviously it doesn't have to, because you know you can always just buy scope rings individually. But I always appreciate it when manufacturers include. When manufacturers include an actual set of like rings for it, cause like I'm already spending money here. You couldn't have thrown in, you know, just from like convenience, a set of rings on there for me, you know. There's that one, right? You can always go with something like from NC Star, right? Let's go ahead and see if we can find a few. Yeah, there's so many different like scope options that are available right now. Usually something like maybe Lancer. Where's the NC Star ones? Yeah, there's so many. There's so many. I mean, yeah, you can go with something like one of these, right? If you want something a little bit smaller, NC Star does have like their compact series. These are actually really small too. So if you have like one of those like really, really short barrel like bolt actions, I would say this would probably be like a good option as well. And for $60.99, that's actually not bad at all. Not at all. Red illumination, cool. Yeah, something like that. Again, there's many options. It really ultimately depends on what it is that you want to do. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one comes from Battle Buddy as well. Any optics that would be the best for the buck for my Combat Master and Pit Viper? For pistols in general, right? I mean, we can just go ahead and type in. There's a few different options you can go with, right? Usually I type in RMR. These are some pretty good options. Well, I like these. These are come included with the mount as well, but that's typically for Picatinny. Usually, Atlas Custom Works, that one's a pretty good one. The Lancer Tactical ones, they work just fine. You know, I got no problems with those. Probably see if it's still available. The Aim Sports one's actually pretty good. I actually kind of dig that one. NC Star one. I'm looking for the very. Oh, it looks like they're all currently sold out. Those are currently sold out. Usually, I would say maybe going for maybe something like one of these guys. I'd say maybe something like one of these. However, I do have to verify whether or not this has the actual like RMR footprint on there. Because I believe this one. Okay, yeah, included mounting plate. Yeah, this one should work. Yeah, this is the micro red dot sight from Lance Tactical. It's going to come included with the mounting plate as well that you need, I believe, for the RMR footprint. So that should work. That should work. $36. Honestly, that's a steal, right? There's not like cheap plastic like lens. This is an actual glass lens too. I recommend it. I recommend it. Because I've used a few of these on like the Sand Viper and fucking they look clean as fuck, dude. Okay, answered that one. Do you by chance sell the tactical stock for Double Eagle M63? This one comes from Daryl. I don't think we do. Let's see. M63. Ooh, do not, unfortunately. I know this sort of this style right here, this spas looking like tri-shot shotgun. I have one of these too. Unfortunately not. I actually have the ASG Frunky Spas 12, right? And I'm kind of in the same situation. I really wanted a stock for it, especially like the folding stock for it, the iconic one. But yeah, no, unfortunately we don't have those stocks individually. Hopefully in the future, maybe one could be put out, or maybe if there's someone that 3D prints them, maybe. But as is right now, no. And I don't know how we'd be able to go ahead and get one to attach onto that body specifically. So maybe in the future. Okay. I think I answered that one. Yeah, okay. I should be all caught up. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the most recent questions. Holy shit. Jester, what's going on, man? Just got off work. Nice, nice, nice. This one comes from Caden Eldridge. If I gave you $1,000, could you make me a tricked out build to absolutely shred people? If you had that money and you wanted to get the best of the best, here's what you do. You don't have to go ahead and like have it like you go ahead and send it. Like no, you can already go ahead and have one that's already made to order, right? So what I would suggest, if you have that much money, if you had the money for $1,000, I would say, maybe a few $100s more, you can pick yourself up something like one of these guys, right? You said that you were looking for, the Canadian killer, for like maybe the Avalon, right? The BCM MCMR, this whole gun originally was OEM by VFC, right? And it should be using the same gearbox as the Avalon series, right? So we took what this is essentially a pre-built VFC Avalon, right? So it's going to come included with all, like, first of all, everything you see here, right? As far as the actual gun itself, so you're going to still be getting all the same externals. Nothing's going to be taken out. Nothing's going to be removed. You're still going to be the exact same gun that you would, all the same externals that you would get on the stock one. However, the internals have been completely redone, right? So we are talking fast rate of fire. We're talking snappy trigger response. We're talking dead accuracy. Holy crap, dead on accuracy. Because of that, we actually even recommend sticking with 3.2 specifically, right? And as far as magazines for proper feeding, PTS EPM brand magazines, 2,200 milliamperage battery from VB Power. We even put down right here on the bottom, like exactly what to expect from this, right? What magazines, what batteries we recommend, what connector it's using. It's just all there, right? Like, this gun is fucking sick. If you were in the market for the best of the best, like the cream of the crop, this would be the go-to. No questions asked about it, right? The best externals and internals, right? Now, if you wanted to go out and save a little bit of money, right, what I would say is pick up or take a look at the Stormline. Stormline's going to be a little bit more affordable. They are all going to be under $1,000, which is going to be pretty cool, right? But you can go ahead and get yourself something like, right? Say if you want a 416, right? You can get yourself a Storm 416 AEG, right? And it's going to be very, very comparable performance to the Typhoons. The Typhoons are going to be a little bit better, but if you're trying to get the best of the best still and I'll save a little bit of money, I would say go for the Stormline, man. You don't have to go ahead and like source all the parts. You can just order it and it's all going to be there. It's all going to be pre-built, and by the time it arrives at your doorstep, it's finished. So that would be the options that I would probably recommend for you. And of course, you order it, you'll get entry into the shopping spree giveaway. You'll get an entry into the shopping spree giveaway, of course. Irusu, also nice stream. Thank you so much. Brand new to Airsoft. I want something for CQB, but also won't but also won't be unusable for long. Okay, got it. For long range, if you could build an entire loader for under $350, I'll consider buying from you guys. Irisi, well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. I actually really appreciate it. I do try my best to go ahead and answer as many questions as I can during the streams and be as informative as I possibly can be, right? Without going on for too long. However, with that said, if you wanted something good for CQB, won't be unusable for long range. At the end of the day, any CQB gun you can use outdoors. Like I don't believe that many of the guns that are going to be shooting like from the 300 to 350 FPS are unusable outdoors, right? You can still use them for outdoors and be completely fine, right? Will you have to get a little closer? Maybe, but there are still, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of like CQB guns that can get out and reach people, right? Like one of the guns that I would probably suggest if you were looking for that would be, we'll start out. There's a few, right? But I'll try to be fast. Why'd I put caps lock on? Oh well. KDB Originals, right? We tested these out with Boaz, and he was very, very impressed with the range that he was able to get out of these bad boys. Even though, right, they don't come included with a 603 Type port out of the box, and you know they are on the shorter side as far as like profiles. These are very, very good, right? Something like one of the KDB Originals, those are going to be solid. If anything, too, if you want to increase the range of performance even more, then go and get a Unicorn inner barrel setup. It'll come included for AEGs with a bucking and hop-up nub. Mint. Fucking mint, right? Especially if you want to lift heavier BBs, that nub's going to come in clutch. Highly recommend that, swapping out for this, and you'll be getting even better range and accuracy, right? These are really, really good, and these are using the VPS system, so these actually have adjustable FPS. So user special Allen key that they come included out of the packaging. Twist one way, and it'll increase the FPS. Twist the other way, it'll lower it. So it's actually very, very convenient, especially considering, 260, right? The Eve, unfortunately, that one is sold out. That was one of the more popular ones because, again, it is just regular M4s. But if you want something a little more unique, these are really, really good options. These are very, very cool options. I would highly recommend the KDB Originals. You can also go with the R15 SBR. Yeah, I have my back cracked. Yeah, the R15 SBRs, these guys are really dope too, right? These are going to be the same as your standard like R15s, just with a shorter barrel, configuration, shorter rail system on here. The rail system is actually kind of cool because it has like sort of this pre-built angled grip on here, which is very comfy. These are also going to be using a 603 Type 4 inner barrel. These, again, like they have a true quick change spring system. So you can easily swap out the spring because I believe right now out of the box, they should be shooting over 350. They should be shooting at like 380, 390. But again, true quick change means that in less than 5 minutes, you can swap out that spring very easily for whatever your field requires. Those would probably be my best options that I'd recommend if you want the best performing gun. However, if you wanted something even more affordable, for under 350, I would say LT 31. I'm going to save you a ton of money right now. Okay. Gen 2, right? I know. Like, this is not going to be as fancy, say, as this R15s. You're not going to get the programmable MOSFET. However, if you are just brand new to Airsoft, a lot of those features might not always be necessary, right? It's cool that you have it, but are you really going to use it? Sometimes, a lot of times, probably not. Right, with the Gen 2 LT31, you are getting a standard version 2 gearbox. Again, that is the most common gearbox that you can find in Airsoft, period. There's no arguing about that. Parts for these bad boys are going to be very easy to find. It's compatible with a variety of different brands as well as far as internal components. There's so much stuff you can go and do to the internals of this because it's very basic internally. Now, with that said, it's still really good quality. You are still getting a true quick change spring system, even on this guy. Right, so you can easily get the FPS to be at whatever FPS you need it to be, right? This one is going to be using a nylon fiber polymer reinforced or polymer receiver. They're tough. They're durable. This is the same material they use for the Gen 3s. And we actually did the torture test video on both the Gen 2 and Gen 3s, and they're on our main YouTube channel. If you want to check them out for yourself, check it out, because it is amazing how strong these guns are, right, despite being so lightweight. Fully adjustable stock. It's rear wired, so it's very easy to store the battery. It comes included with a battery and charger out of the box. But honestly, it's also my favorite feature about it is that it's going to come included with this Daniel Defense Mark 18 look and rail system, which, when I was getting into Airsoft, I had to spend $130 just for the rail system, right? And that's not including the $180 the gun itself alone cost me. So for $192 on a shocker deal, you can get the whole thing, battery and charger package included, quick change spring system, so you can use this for both indoor and outdoor, right? I would say this would probably be the best bang for your buck, especially if you're on a tight budget. But hopefully, Irisu, I answered your question. And remember, again, order it because it's over $20. You get an entry into our shopping spree giveaway in which you could win $1,800 for yourself just by placing a $20 order. This will definitely get you an entry. All right. Chris Pollard, hey Isaias, this is my favorite time of the day. Hey man, thanks. I actually I feel the same way. I actually really enjoy doing these live streams. Obviously, yeah, like they are work, because it does get very hot when I answer, and I do get a little tired whenever I answer questions a lot. Just because again, I do have to talk a lot. I'm actually, believe it or not, when it comes to just my regular everyday life, I'm actually not that big of a talker. I actually am generally more of a reserved person. I will say stuff just like everyone else, but I'm actually more a reserved person. But, I actually genuinely find that, the live streams give me an opportunity to speak more. And it's really cool. I always enjoy doing these, so much. Okay. Am I missing anything? Okay, what would you recommend? Okay, this one comes from Amy Matthews. Well, another banger question. What would you recommend for a chest rig under $50 or $50? Thinking of one from Amazon. Nah. I'd much rather buy from you guys. Yes, thank you, Amy. Thank you. Yes, never shop outside of GI. I can't really tell you to do that, but again, who else? What other airsoft retailer can boast that you guys get a chance of winning $1,800 just when you spend $20 at our store, right? Literally, whether it be in store or online. We're the only airsoft retailer that rewards customers this good, right? But to answer your question, Amy, I would say for a good chest rig under $50, or was that six? Under $60. Sorry, from here it looks like 50. You guys know what I'm going to suggest. Woke Sport chest rig, baby! The multifunctional chest rig. I love these things, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Right? These chest rigs are super simple, very basic, but they get the job done, and they're incredibly effective, right? Fully adjustable to whatever size you need. Comes included with 3 5.56 inserts, so if you're rocking M4 or M16 magazines, it'll all work. It'll just fit nice and snug inside. In the front pouch, there actually is a 2 sleeves that you can use to hold 2 more M4 style magazines, but I usually like to hold other stuff in there. 2 little side pouches for either pistol magazines if they're small enough, or a speed loader, which is what I like to use with them. But they're also compatible with these pouches down here, these subabdominal, yes, I can't say that word for some reason, subabdominal chest rigs, right, or pouches for chest rigs. They come in a multitude of colors. All you got to do is remove the hook and loop backing on the backside of the chest rig. There's a hook and loop panel there. Stick this on, and you have a nice dangler pouch right underneath. So that's a good sized pouch too. You can hold other pieces of intel if you have that. Or honestly, what I do, I hold my phone, my wallet, I hold them all on the chest rig. It's super convenient. There's plenty of room for it. It's nice and secure. So I usually like to do that. I mean, even my car keys, I'll put them in there because I don't like stuff sticking inside of my pants pockets. So that would be the best setup, honestly, in my opinion. Because again, that's like $40, right? Plus the 15, 54. That's totally worth it. And it's still under $60. Another option you can go with is Condor Recon Chest Rig. It's another great option that's gotten many people into the hobby and gotten them for many, many years to come. Yeah, the Outdoor Recon chest rig. These guys are dope. These guys are solid, right? Can't go wrong with one of these bad boys. All right, let's take a look at this black one, for example. Oh, it just cracked my neck. That sounded delicious. Yeah, one of these guys, right? The Recon chest rigs are super convenient. They're super light, right? They're not super heavy. Even though they already have the mag pouches there, it's still, you still have plenty of molly space on the sides here and plenty of molly real estate throughout to put whatever it is that you want and whatever it is that you need, right? It's pretty freaking cool, right? Fully adjustable, of course. I like to wear mine. For this one, I like to wear it a little bit lower, but not super, super low, like a belly rig. But yeah, fully adjustable size, whatever it is that you need it to be. $44.95. That ain't nothing. And it already comes included with 6 M4 magazines, or 6 M4 mag pouches and 6 pistol mag pouches on here, which is, again, super, super convenient. Super fucking convenient, right? So I highly recommend that option as well. And again, there's other colors. If you're not missing anything. Okay. Caden Elrich, would the Crytek Vector be a good for No, not really. I mean, here's the thing. Any airsoft gun could be a good first airsoft gun, but the Crytek, I normally don't usually recommend the Vector. Personally, I was a bigger fan of the OG KWA gas one. The Vector looks cool, but that's really all about it. That's honestly all I can really say about it. If you like that style, I would say Amy, I would say yeah. Honestly, I'm 100% on the same opinion of you. If you want something that style, get the Kitty TK45. Absolutely. Actually, TK-45. Whew. They're currently sold out. Damn. But yeah, that style I would recommend. Or eventually, when they come back in stock, honestly, I want to see this come back. I'm waiting for Kitty to restock us on this bad boy. Yeah. This is the Vector done right, honestly. Even though it's not a Vector, I mean, come on, let's look at this thing. Look at it. Look at it. Right? That's the one that I would recommend. And for $250, that honestly was going for a steal. I am glad it sold out. It shows that people do want it. So I'm hoping that one comes back pretty soon. Chris Pollard. I love using my Tokamuri Mac 10 as a backup. Hey, SMGs, right? Small little PDWs like that. Absolutely. Good. They are a great option for a backup gun. Trent, have you ever shot with a Crytek? Yes, I have. I remember when they first came out, I was very impressed. However, comparatively now, I'm not very impressed anymore. Again, just the standard of Airsoft has gone up, and I'm actually glad for it. I'm here for it. Okay, this one comes from Gallons Manin. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Can an 11.1 2000 milliamp LiPo battery damage my AEG? I mean, it depends on the AEG, right? And how you're using it. If the gun isn't very well shimmed, if you're going really, really ham with it, and over time, yeah, you could do cause some damage, right? Like, say, stripping a gear, stripping a piston. If they're using bushings, you strip a bushing in there, right? That can definitely be a thing, especially if you're using like an 11.1. I would even say if you want to go even further, right? If you're using basic trigger contacts, an 11.1 LiPo will eventually burn those contacts out, right? It's not going to be a matter of if and when. It's going to be a matter of just when, really, at the end of the day. It's going to be a matter of when it happens. So if your gun doesn't already have a MOSFET or like ETU to protect it, then I would say, yeah, it can cause some damage. But ultimately, how soon is really all depends on the gun quality itself and how you're using it. Battle Buddy, do you sell AEG parts like an M-Lock rail? We do sell M-Lock rails. We do sell several AEG components. You can go up to upgrade parts, internals, externals. We sell them all. Just bear in mind, M-Lock rails do seem to move very, very fast. A lot of people love their M-Lock right now, so. Grady Kelly, what gun should I get for under $200? Grady, it really depends ultimately on what it is that you're looking for. If you're looking for an AEG, there's a few options you can get, right? You can go with, let's go with AEGs, right? All right. Is that J2? Oh, apologies. Let's go here. The heat just, I don't know, man. It's so hot outside. And I'm wearing this freaking plate carrier and this combat top right now because we were filming for a skid. We're filming for a short. And, it's just freaking hot, man. All right. But going with there are still plenty of options you can get. Yeah, I would say if you were looking for a solid option, right, for under $200, one of my best recommendations that I usually tell people to get is going to be one of these guys, right? I know. Very, 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 very basic, right? But what exactly are you getting, right? You are getting a standard M4A1, right? You even got the original clamshell on there if you wanted to, and the carry handle. Don't worry, it's removable. You get Picatinny underneath. You are buying yourself a base gun. This thing is discounted right now. It's discounted to $146.28. You are getting, let's see what gets out of the box, right? You are getting a 9.6 nickel hydrate battery and a wall charger as well. In addition to a gun, which we've tested before as far as its durability, and these things are fucking durable, right? This is a great option if you were really on a budget and you needed to, again, you just wanted something that was solid and get everything you need out of the box, because it has a 603 Type 4 inner barrel, it's a rotary cell hop-up chamber, uses a quick change spring system, so you can get this to shoot whatever FPS you need it to, and within a matter of 5 minutes. This would be my best pick if you were looking for something that's under $200, especially in this economy, right? Especially with inflation going on, this is a damn good deal. Even full price, $159, fucking worth it. Now, let's say you wanted something a little bit nicer, right? There are other options. Again, the Gen 2 lineup is going to be your best friend when it comes to searching up options like this. If you wanted, say, let's go with one of these bad boys, right? A little bit shorter, this is the Mark 18 Mod 0, right? You can get this configuration. Mod Zero, honestly, I actually really like the Mod Zero too, or like the CQBR, right? I think it's a really cool like option, right? This configuration, same thing, but you are going to be getting a quad rail instead of the clamshell, so you have more room for accessories. Disc, it's normally 173, which even then, still good, but 159.16, yeah, 100%, I'd say yeah, right? Especially because you're also going to be getting the 9.6 nickel hydrate battery and the wall charger. That's another option. Now, if you're hoping to get away from this brand, I mean, I'm not too sure why. There's fucking awesome fucking deals. I would say another option that you can get for under $200 would be Double Bell, right? Now, obviously, are they going to be as nice? No, of course, they're not going to have the same amount of features, but with that said, they are going to be fairly cheap, right? If you wanted something that was pretty good for under $200, I would say go with maybe one of their AKs, right? Let's see, I'm just going to type it in, Double Bell AK. Yeah, I'd say go with one of the Double Bell AKs, for example, right? Like, you can get this guy, right, for $155.99, right? This is going to be using a full metal receiver, actual wood handguard, standard version 3 gearbox, so you can, again, put a ton of upgrades into it. The version 3 is the second most common gearbox that has the most available parts for it, right? In fact, some of the parts might actually be compatible with version 2 too, but you are getting a side-folding triangle stock on here, which is very, very nice, right? And for $155, that's really good still. This one, unfortunately, is not going to come included with a battery and a charger. But again, the money that you save on the gun itself, you can use towards the battery and charger. A good 7.4 LiPo battery is what I would recommend for this guy. You can go 11.1 if you want to, but again, it's going to be a matter of time before you burn out those contacts. So I would normally say go with a 7.4, really thin stick type battery. Pick yourself a good charger as well, and you got yourself $200, and you got yourself everything you need. And there are other options too, but those are like kind of like my go-tos right now. Okay. Okay, answered that one. Okay, I think I should be. Yeah, I should be caught up. All right, let's go ahead and scroll down to the most recent questions. There you go. Holy crap. Tsuru. Okay, I think this comes from. Okay, let's see here. That R15 is fire, although that's like my entire budget. Yeah, no, I get you. I have no free battery chargers. Only have BBs. One more thing. If I wanted to set up a range at home, how would I do that? Do I need a way to clean up BBs up quickly, as I can't get them with the lawnmower? Honestly, like in my backyard, I just still have a bunch of BBs that are there. Right? If you really wanted to go in and clean up, we actually have, I believe, shot tent, or is it called BB tent? Let's see. You can use one of these actually. What I'd recommend. Damn it! Okay. Target trap. Steel funnel airsoft target trap. That's actually not a bad idea, right? Something like one of these guys. Yeah, this is probably what I would set up, like maybe like something like this, right? This actually might not be a bad idea. But you'd have to go ahead and have it set up with those specific targets. That's one option. A trap shot target actually would be pretty cool. Right, something like one of these. You're pretty small. Set these up, and when you're shooting it, they're obviously going to like collect in there. I think that'd be pretty sick, right? Yeah, that's probably like one of the best options that I suggest, right? If you want to help, like, one, practice your accuracy, and then two, help like trap those BBs. You honestly, another thing that people do, and we've done it before, get like just dead ass. If you got nothing else, get a big cardboard box. And then like print out some like targets that you can put like glue or stick on or staple on right on top. And then that way, like again, when you're shooting through it, like it'll catch all the BBs inside. Yeah, do BBs? Yeah, parents don't want BBs everywhere. No, yeah, I totally get that. All right, Amy, peace out, man. Thanks for joining on the stream, man. That's really cool to have you here again. All right, let's see if we can answer some more questions. This one comes from Prime Take Customs. A follow-up to the Clean House short film. Ooh, a man of culture, I see. If you guys haven't already, look up Airsoft GI on YouTube. Look up Airsoft GI Clean House. I was very proud of that video. I don't know how you guys felt about it. I think it was pretty fucking cool. Very underrated, honestly. I love all the cinematic stuff we're able to do for BB Wars, honestly. Like, that one was a very, very cool. We might actually do a follow-up short on that because, again, BB Wars it's coming again. We're doing it in SoCal again. It's coming to SC Village. So who knows? We might be able to go ahead and do that. We're still, again, trying to figure out what the best course of action would be as far as a story, if we want to have, like, again, like how we want to do it, right? There's always like stuff we're gonna like work on. Okay, let's see here. This one comes from Benjamin Hinson. Can you recommend me a way to carry my magazines while having my ghillie suit zipped on? I mean, the easiest way to do it would honestly be like, if you want to have it still zipped, you're gonna have to run the chest rig or a battle belt over the ghillie suit itself. But that kind of like it might be a little bit difficult. What I would say then maybe at that point is see if you can try to a lot of ghillie suits, if you don't buy it outright, you can make your own ghillie suit, right? Here's what I would suggest. Maybe if you have your chest rig or your battle belt, maybe see if you can try to get some foliage and build this, see if you can try to get it to be a standalone ghillie belt, right? I don't know if that makes any sort of sense. So, like, for example, if you were to set up a bunch of, like, brush on the belt itself, right? Make it look like it in itself is, part of the ghillie suit by having it layered with some like leaves and what other foliage you might be using. That's going to work with your ghillie suit, right? Say having that, or on the chest rig too, on the backside, right? However you want to set it up, maybe just have it look like the chest rig or the battle belt that you use is also like a ghillie or part of the ghillie suit itself. That's the best way you can do it, right? All right, guys, just so you know, we got about like 5 more minutes left of the live stream before we're going to go ahead and end. So make sure to go ahead and ask your questions away. Last of the questions, make sure to put a Q in front of it. Also, make sure to go ahead, if you haven't already, pick yourself up one of the Independence Day mystery boxes we have left. There's not too many left, only a handful left now, guys. Make sure to go ahead and order yours. Let's see if we can get this sold out before the end of the stream within the next 4 minutes, actually. Remember, $170, automatic free shipping. There's only a few left, and you get an insane list of prizes that you could potentially win. And not to mention 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway going on for $1,800. Don't miss out. Okay, this one comes from Galanis Manon. Thinking about getting a radio setup, and I've heard that the Earmore 32Hs only work with our brand PTTs, TD2. Okay, so yeah, well, it's not so much just Earmore, it's any brand in general. So when it comes to like a lot of the Repro brand stuff, right? A lot of the stuff that like we sell, they work great if you use the same brand PTT, right? Justin and I and some of our friends have tested this out, and we've noticed that they work significantly better when you have the same PTT to the same brand headsets or ear options that you're wearing, right? So if you're going Earmore, go Earmore PTT. If you're going whatever other brand, make sure you stick with that brand. It's just an unfortunate reality of it because we've tried it with other brands before mixing matching, and they'll work, don't get me wrong, but even with the volume all the way up, you get a lot of static white noise, and the volume itself of people talking is very low. It is very, very, very low. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. If you are hoping to do comms, like and actually have like a headset, here's the thing: to do comms, all you need at the end of the day is a radio. That's really all you need. I would say, if anything, get a shoulder mic instead. But if you wanted to have it coming in through, and you wanted the look, and you wanted to like have it come in, all incoming traffic coming through a headset, yeah, then I would say just make sure you get the same brand PTT if you are going with, like brands like Earmore, for example. Love our Airsoft family. Yeah, man. Honestly, I really freaking dig the Mayo Gang itself. The community that we've built, honestly, I'm a very big fan. I was very happy that, this is probably, if not the most wholesome Airsoft community, that we have out there. And honestly, I plan on keeping it this way. Let's see. Amy Matt, are the pistol mag pouches detachable? From the Condor one, I believe so. From the Woe Sport chest rigs, no. I have a licensed Glock 17 GBB that operates on green gas, but I'm thinking about using CO2 mags. Which CO2 mag do you recommend if it's a good idea to use CO2? Normally for the Elite Force, okay, if it's the officially licensed Glock 17s, if it's the Elite Force ones, then yeah, you can use the CO2 ones. That should be okay. One of my buddies on my team actually runs exclusively CO2 magazines for his Glock 19X. Even though it came included with the green gas magazine, he's been using the CO2 ones, and they all work great. But bear in mind, CO2 over time does more damage. If you want to go CO2, you can, but just keep that in mind, right? That can cause some more damage. I would say go with the same brand. If it's the Elite Force brand, stick with the Elite Force brand magazines. You don't want to mix and match. Okay. This comes from Uncoordinated Airsoft. Thanks for coming to BB Wars. Hey, man, no problem. If you're talking about BB Wars SoCal, I had a blast, honestly, at Coastal Front. That was a blast, and I love the field. U.S. Airsoft field, fucking dope. Goated. 100% goated. Maybe time for, like, one more question. Evan Johnson, do a tier list of every Call of Duty you ever played. Oh God. That's a good one. I'll end it on this one. Okay. If I had to pick my number one favorite COD game, it goes Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, and then World at War. Yeah, but I also really like the first Warzone, especially when Warzone first came out. Like, dude, when Warzone first came out, bro, like the first Modern Warfare remake was fucking fire. It was fucking dope. I was a big fan of that one. All right, guys, it is 5 o'clock. It is now time for the end of the in-store live stream. Thank you to everyone that decided to spend their free time hanging out with the Mayo Gang, hanging out with me. It means the world to me that you guys choose to spend your free time hanging out with me. And hopefully you guys found this stream entertaining, and I was able to answer a good amount of questions. If I wasn't able to answer your question, you can go ahead and ask again. We do these live streams fairly regularly. I will actually be going live again on Tuesday night as part of my No Flightless live stream, a long streaming series that I've been going on for a while now. I actually have a guest speaker on as well scheduled for Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. We'll just say this. If you're a regular at the Tax City or Project N1 fields here in SoCal, or you're maybe familiar with a few, maybe one very specific weeb softer who's very popular in the area, you'll know who I'm talking about. He's going to be coming onto my stream. But with that said, if you want to go ahead and support Airsoft GI directly, make sure to go ahead and pick up all your Airsoft goodies at Airsoft GI, whether it be in-store or online. Make sure to pick up an Independence Day mystery box where you can get 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway, right? But there's only a handful left of the mystery box, so let's get this bad boy sold out. Let's go ahead and show what the Mayo Gang's all about and get this bad boy sold out immediately, right? Again, ton of products that you can go ahead and win, high-end guns that you can win for dirt cheap 170 and automatic free shipping, right? Not to mention those 10 entries. Not only that, we have a ton of new products that are available at airsoftgi.com and more coming literally today as well. We have a ton of items that are available on a discounted rate as well. You don't want to miss out on all these shocker deals we got going on, right? So many cool items that are discounted right now that you don't want to miss, right? And again, if you already own a Mayo Gang MGC4 Mark II, make sure to check out on our blog. This is going to be the Mayo Gang Content Creator Program, where you can go ahead and create, upload, and let us know about a video you filmed regarding your opinions on the MGC4 Mark II. As long as you're following this criteria, then you will be rewarded a $50 gift card. You have until September 19th to enter and to qualify. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up. Thank you for everyone that showed up. It means the world to me. I will see you guys on the next one. This has been Isaias